She didn't fight for her husband. She didn't cry for him. She let another woman take him. And what happened next affected 3 lives forever. Everyone thought Lydia was weak. Everyone thought she lost. But if you think this is a story about a husband snatcher winning, do not blink, because the real story only begins after the wife walks away. Have you seen Lydia and her husband? That question followed them everywhere in Greenfield Estate. At the market, women paused mid-bargain just to watch them pass. Marcus walked like a man who knew he was admired, tall, confident, well-dressed. And Lydia, she walked quietly beside him, her hand wrapped gently in his. Marcus would laugh loudly and say, "This woman is my backbone. Without her, I'm nothing." People smiled, some women sighed, some women went home angry at their own husbands. They called Lydia lucky. What they didn't see was how Lydia's smile never reached her eyes, how her body stiffened each time Marcus tightened his grip just a little too hard, how her body stiffened each time the compound gate creaked shut behind them, because Lydia knew something the rest of Greenfield Estate didn't. Love doesn't change the moment the door closes. The house was quiet when they entered. Too quiet. Marcus dropped his keys on the table and loosened his collar. Lydia went straight to the kitchen. She always did. Speed was safety. But that evening, the soup tasted slightly different. Marcus took 1 spoonful, then another. He stood up slowly. "What is this?" he asked calmly. Lydia's heart began to race. I followed the same recipe." The slap came without warning. Her head snapped to the side. She tasted blood. "Are you stupid, or do you just enjoy embarrassing me?" She fell to her knees instantly. "I'm sorry. I'll fix it." "You are nothing," he said, pointing at her. "Nothing before me, nothing without me." Lydia stayed because Lydia was an orphan. No parent to run to, no brother to threaten him, no place that felt safe. Marcus reminded her every day. "I picked you," he would say, "from nowhere. If you leave, you disappear." That night, Lydia slept on the floor. The next morning, she wore makeup and smiled in public. Sonia noticed Marcus long before he noticed her. She noticed how men stepped aside for him, how women admired him, how Lydia followed quietly behind like a shadow. Sonia didn't want Marcus because she loved him. She wanted him because he looked like a rival. She timed her movements carefully, passed him accidentally, dropped things near him, laughed just a second longer than necessary. "Oh, Marcus," she said one day, "you always look so stressed. A strong man like you deserves peace." Marcus smiled. No one had ever called him strong like that before. Soon he started lingering, listening, comparing. Sonia planted seeds carefully. "Some women don't know how lucky they are," she said casually. Marcus stopped correcting her. One afternoon, Lydia stopped behind the building when she heard voices. Sonia's laugh floated through the air. "She looks scared of you," Sonia said. "A man like you needs confidence at home." Marcus laughed, a low, careless laugh. "She's a burden," he replied. "I married her so people would praise me." Lydia felt it then. Not heartbreak, relief. That was the moment she stopped hoping Marcus would change. And that was the moment she understood something else. Sonia wasn't stealing her husband. Sonia was unknowingly volunteering. Lydia didn't leave. That would have made Marcus chase her. Instead, Lydia changed the one thing Marcus depended on: control. She started forgetting things, burning food, asking questions. And when Marcus raised his hand, Lydia screamed. Not crying, screaming. Neighbors started listening. Marcus froze every time. But in public, Lydia became unbearable in a different way. She praised Marcus loudly, clung to his arm, called him the best husband in Greenfield Estate. Marcus was trapped inside the image he created. Then Lydia did something even more dangerous. She spoke to Sonia. At the tap, Lydia sighed deeply. My husband is too strong for me. I don't have the fire he needs. Sonia's eyes lit up. Lydia continued. He deserves a woman who can match him. Sonia didn't hear warning, she heard permission. She doubled her efforts. Better food, more praise. She thought she was winning. Lydia thought, almost. One night, Marcus came home angry. Smoke filled the kitchen. This madness ends today, he shouted. Pack your things. Lydia collapsed at his feet, loud enough for neighbors to hear. Please, she cried, don't disgrace me. Marcus felt powerful. He chose Sonia. At the gate, Sonia smiled proudly. You lost, she said. Lydia leaned close and whispered calmly. You wanted him. You wanted the house. You wanted the lock. You have everything now. She walked away. 2 hours later, Sonia sat comfortably. Marcus, she said casually, tell the boy to bring water. The slap echoed. The door slammed shut. Sonia screamed. Nobody came. She realized too late. She didn't take Lydia's place. She stepped into it. Far away, Lydia sat alone in a small room. No shouting, no fear, just silence. She drank water slowly and smiled. For the first time in her life, she was free. Some women don't lose husbands. They escape prisons. And sometimes, when a woman lets you take her place easily, it's because she already survived what you are about to enter. Thanks for watching. Bye.